Okay, we've been building this beautiful log house on top of the hill here for quite a while, and I've been posting pictures of it for, off and on here and there as we make progress. But I have not made a video yet to show all the detail and exactly what the scale of this house is actually like if you are actually here in person to look at it. So I figured I'd make a video and show what that's like. So we're walking. This is from the where the garage approach would be. When the homeowners drive up, this is where they would park. We're parking the garage. And this is how you would walk into the main entrance of the house, would be to walk down this porch here. We have all these massive live edge cedar posts that are gonna be holding the porch roof overhangs up, which are yet to be built. Those will be coming 8 feet off the log walls here with a 2-foot overhang here, because this porch roof beam is 6 foot off the wall. So we'll have another 2-foot overhang past that to make sure we get all of our watershed off the porch, which it'll have gutters anyway, but it'll still be nice to have the water dripping off the porch, not on it, and snow and everything else. And it just gives it more protection from snow and ice and all that stuff. So here's the main porch here, and this porch has radiant heat tubing in it because this is the north facing side of the house. This will rarely see any sun, so the homeowner wanted to put some radiant heat tubing in here. That way, if there's any ice or snow buildup, all he has to do is hit the switch, turn the heating on here, melt the ice and snow off. All these porches have a 1/4 inch and 12 pitch away from the house, so any water that builds up here or ice, when it melts, will just run right off the porch. And we've had some incredible winds here. We've had 50+ mile-an-hour wind gusts for the past 3 days. So it's a mess around here. There's sand and dirt everywhere, and we've had to patch up a bunch of the plastic over the windows and doors because it just got shredded. Here are the remainder of the Doug fir roof beams that are going on the other side of the house to hold the rest of the porch roofs up. And we have these giant, solid eastern red cedar posts. It's actually just an entire tree that runs from the concrete porch all the way up to the deck overhang roof up there, and I'll show you that detail when we get up at the top. But let me just show you these brackets that we had custom made to hold these giant trees up here. So this is a solid 8-inch thick concrete wall that goes down to a footer, and underneath each one of these log columns is a concrete pier below that wall, below the foot, that goes all the way down to bedrock. And these are centered over this wall, so they have plenty of load bearing capacity. We have these huge 1/2-inch thick steel plate brackets we had custom made by a local fab shop. And they are bolted to the underside of the log as well as the concrete slab. And they have a large nut and double washer, so we could set these posts, get everything cut to height, and then still have some adjustability built in there, which we definitely needed, because it's almost impossible when you're working with live edge logs like this to get everything cut exactly square and at the height you want and everything. So you have to have some adjustability there. And those are galvanized and then powder coated, so they're very weather resistant. And the gap is not the most visually appealing thing, but the homeowner will probably come up with some kind of way to trim that out, make that look good. But here's the main entrance door of the house. This is a huge 4-foot wide but 8-foot tall door. We have a solid, I believe it was knotty alder door, custom door from Sierra Pacific Windows and Doors. They had a custom door shop that built this door for the homeowner, and that thing is in the garage. It's completely covered up. I would love to be able to show you, but I don't want to open it up to the weather. So we come in the main entrance here, and first thing you see is this giant cedar that is the main load-bearing point in the house that holds the ridgepole up. And keep in mind, this is obviously still in the rough framing stage. There's a lot of work still to be done in here. So it looks kind of messy. It's because we're still in the middle of working on all this. And here's a stair landing with another live edge cedar log holding that up. We kind of left it long on the top because these stairs are just temporary for construction. Landing's permanent, but when the permanent stairs get built in place and the flooring gets installed on top of this here, we will then cut this tree off flush with the top surface of the flooring and sand that and finish that out nicely. These walls are solid 14-inch diameter spruce from Idaho, I believe they were. This is a log package that homeowner purchased from a supplier in northern Idaho, and they just shipped them down here, and then we basically put the house together off a set of floor plans, and that was it. We just had to kind of piece it together, and it turned out pretty good. It was a lot of work though. It's definitely one of a kind. So we walk in here, you see the underside of this loft, all this round beam work. It's turned out really nice. It's beautiful. It was a lot of work. We have live edge cedar trees for all of our beam supports. All these are point loads that are continuous to the slab through this subfloor. And here's the main feature wall of the house. We have this huge 6-foot wide fireplace. And this is an isokern fireplace. So we have the full precast assembly that's then put together with fire brick installed. You can see that there. This is still obviously yet to be finished out. This is just the raw block work. But here's this main feature wall of the house. These two huge, I believe they're 7-foot by 5-foot triangle windows on either side of this vaulted ceiling up here. And these big 5-foot by 5-foot windows here on the bottom, either side of the fireplace. Beautiful feature here. And we have a massive live edge cedar mantle that we custom made. That turned out awesome. Homeowner loves that. And we're pretty proud of it too. It turned out really well. And here we turn back and you can see the edge of the loft with all that round beam work. That turned out really nice. And there's obviously still got to be a lot of work done up there, a lot of framing. There's going to be some custom-made railing installed across that opening. But you can see that that's a 26-foot tall eastern red cedar that is continuous. We had to cut some joinery to attach this load-bearing beam in through the center of it right there, but that is still continuous all the way up through that floor, all the way to the underside of the ridge beam up there. And then we go over here. This will be the dining area of the house here with that huge French door opening out onto the deck and a window there. This will be the kitchen area right here. We'll have cabinets going from this side, wrapping the whole way around. There'll be a sink right there, and then more cabinets along this wall, ending right there. And then we have the doorway into the laundry room here. And then in the corner here, we have a large walk-in pantry with a window in it for a little bit of light. I'm sure there'll be some cabinets or shelves or whatever they decide to put in here. And we have this huge laundry room with lots of room for storage space of all kinds. I think they're going to be putting some big stand-up freezers in here, as well as lots of counter space, washer and dryer, and whatever else they decide to put in here. But all these ceilings on this main level of the house are all 10 foot. These are all 10-foot tall ceilings, so we have lots and lots of headroom. This wall here that divides the living space from the garage, we decided to frame that out of 2x12, not because it needed it structurally, but to give us plenty of wall cavity for all of our ventilation, plumbing, and ductwork for dryer exhaust and HVAC and all that stuff to go from the basement level of the house, which is where the mechanical room is going to be located, all the way up into the loft. So all of our other trades have plenty of room to run all their services in there. And here we have a little entryway from the garage into the main level of the house. We've got a short drop down into the garage space onto this concrete slab. That way any water that may accumulate in here from driving vehicles in and out in inclement weather won't have a way to make it into the main living space of the house. Here are all those windows and doors from Sierra Pacific. Awesome window and door package. About the best quality you can buy. And here we have this dividing wall that divides the living space of the house from the garage. And we elected to use zip on that because this is a shear wall, but also because that allows us to completely air seal this part of the house from the living space. This slab is also has radiant heat tubing in it as well. That way this garage can be kept at a comfortable temperature, whatever they decide to keep it at. All the roof framing in here is all 2x12. That way we can put plenty of spray foam insulation up there and get this house nice and efficient. And we have a 32-foot long glue lam beam to span this entire garage, and it's bearing on the log wall on that side, and we have a stud stack in there for a continuous load point all the way down to the edge of our ICF, which I'll show you in the basement down there. But the homeowner did not want any kind of posts interrupting his space in the garage here, so we went with that massive glue, which is probably overkill, but I decided that was probably the safest way to go because we have quite a bit of roof framing up there, a lot of weight to hold, so why not overdo it? And that holds all those rafters. And then we have a 4-foot roof overhang over the edge of the garage here, over this gable wall, because there will be no porch on this side, so we went with a little bit longer overhang just to kind of give this some more protection from the weather. And we were able to cut some joinery and tie a 16-inch round, I believe it's a 16, it might be a 14, I believe it's a 16-inch though, ridge bowl to hang out and hold this roof overhang up at the peak. And that is has some nice little joinery to join it into that glue lam beam, and it's got some massive 16-inch log screws holding all that together. So this wall here is all air sealed off. When this is finished, these will both be exterior doors. There will be a landing that's going to get built up there, obviously over top of this opening, with a staircase that runs down that way towards that door, which leads out onto the porch. And that way they have access to the attic space up there for storage in and out of the garage. And these will both be exterior doors to keep all this sealed off from the living space of the house. So let's go back in here and we'll go up and look at the loft. Actually, let's go look at the master suite of the house first while we're on this level. So here we are going into the master bedroom. They did not want a large master bedroom. They just wanted it just big enough for fit their furniture and have a little bit of room in here. So we have these 2 windows. There's going to be either side of the master bed. The headboard's going to sit against that wall. And then if you turn this way, there is the master bathroom. And since obviously this is all just stud framing, it's a little bit difficult to see what they have going on here, but hopefully you can kind of get the gist of it. So we have a 3-foot door. All the doorways in this house are all 3 foot, unless there was just not room to run a 3-foot door, because I'm a big fan of just having as much room as you can whenever you need it, or whenever you're able to fit it in there, because there's nothing more annoying than trying to move a piece of furniture or something else around in the living space and coming up to a doorway and not being able to fit it through. That'll just really make you mad. So we went 3-foot doors everywhere. So you walk right in here, and here is this will be the exterior wall of the shower. And you turn this way, there will be a double vanity that runs along this wall right here, from this end all the way down here, and stops just short of this window. Over here, we'll have a jacuzzi tub sitting right in this corner with a window on 2 sides of it. And you'll have a view out those windows, one to the north and one to the west. And there's some incredible views out there. I'll show you those in a little bit. But you turn this way and you will have the toilet closet right there. It'll be enclosed, and that is just, I believe that's a 2-foot door there, because there's just no reason to have a larger door than that on a toilet closet. All you're going to have in there is a toilet and maybe a small vanity if they decide to do that. But it also has a window as well, just because why not? And here is the shower. Now this is, I believe, also a 2-foot doorway, because you don't need to fit anything in a shower other than yourself, so there's no sense in putting a larger doorway. And this will just be a cased opening. There will obviously be no door there. But this will be a large walk-in tile shower, also full 10-foot ceilings in here as well. That turned out very nice. And then over here, as you walk past the toilet closet and the shower, we have closet space. So this is kind of an open his and hers closet. I'm not sure which side's gonna be which now, but we have plenty of closet space. And over top of the closet, we have this large 6x12 Doug fir beam spanning this opening, and you'll see why that's there in a little bit when we go upstairs, but that is to carry the load all the way down continuously to the floor below. And we have a small little nook built into this end of the back side of the closet, and that'll be some shoe shelves or something, whatever they decide to put in there. Another little corner of the closet we have here for more space. Lots of room in here, all kinds of storage. So let's go back out here. And we're gonna have, right as you come in the main entrance door, we're gonna have a half bath right here. Just a little guest bathroom. And that'll just have a toilet and probably a vanity in there. No need for a lot of space in there. It also has its own window. That's nice as well. Okay, let's go up and look at the loft. Again, these are just temporary stairs, just for construction. So we come up the stair landing here, and we have, obviously there's no railing in place yet, but there will be railing around this entire stairwell opening. We have two large 4-foot by 5-foot windows either side of that doorway to allow plenty of natural light in here. And we have the doorway walking out onto this deck. That is quite the view right there. I believe he'll probably still be doing some more tree trimming to get the most out of this view. But look at this. This is something else. This house is on top of one of the highest hilltops for like 10 miles in every direction. So there is plenty of view here. And there are those large cedar trees that are continuous from the concrete porch all the way up to the bottom of these 6x12 Doug fir. I'm sorry, these are cedar. These beams are cedar. These 6x12 cedar beams, which are pocketed into the framing of the wall. There's still some temporary blocking we forgot to take down up there. And then they cantilever out over the top of these posts to hold this roof up. And this roof, this deck is, I believe, 7 foot off the wall of the house to the outside face, just to get us just past the edge of these trees. And then we have a total roof overhang off the house of 10 feet. So we have almost a 4-foot overhang past the edge of the deck. So we got plenty of roof overhang here to keep snow and ice and weather and whatnot off this deck. Even though this deck is Advantech X Factor, this is some incredible subflooring here, because all these decks on this house are going to have a 6-step coating system installed on them of some kind. So it'll be completely waterproof. So we went with decking like this to give them a very solid foundation to put that on. This is 1 1/8 inch thick Advantech subflooring. This is some very durable stuff here. So we have these 2 large windows here. You can see that in the doorway. And again, there's going to be 8-foot porch roof overhangs that are going to be built. They're going to tie into this roof up here a little ways. I'm not quite sure exactly where yet, but to get us enough slope to shed ice and snow off of here. And obviously there'll be railing here as well, but this is a fantastic loft deck up here with quite the view. Okay, so back in the doorway here, we see that huge cedar tree still being continuous through this subfloor all the way up to this 16-inch ridge beam, which carries the load of all these rafters and ties into this wall right here. And we had to do some interesting little experimenting to figure out a way to tie that in there, but I think we got that done properly. And this is a 22-foot wide area here from the side of the stairwell all the way to this wall. And here is the reason for that 6x12 fir beam in the bathroom closet area, is because this wall is carrying load down from the roof, from those valleys, all the way down to the slab, going through that beam. And there's still some walls, interior wall framing that needs to be done here. There'll be a wall that will go from the end of this wall all the way over to there and tie into the log, and there'll be a closet space and a full bathroom on this side of the loft and that side as well, because there will be 2 full bedrooms up here. And there'll be a wall that continues from the end of that all the way to here with a doorway right here. You'll walk in here. This will be a bedroom space with its own closet and its own bathroom. And there's a really nice little nook here with a window, a shed roof dormer that I'll show you from the outside. Looks really cool. There's one on each side of this vaulted ceiling space. Here we have looking down into the main room of the house at the fireplace again. There's that big feature wall. You get a better look at how that cedar tree holds that ridge beam up and all that roof framing, all this 6x12 roof framing. This was quite the roof. All these rafters are all hand cut. There are no roof trusses up here anywhere. This is all a hand cut roof. And here we have the other side of the loft space, which will also have a wall going from the end of this wall here with a doorway right here somewhere. You'll walk in here. Here we'll have another full bathroom and a closet on this side and a bedroom space over here in this dormer. And there will be a wall that terminates right across here that closes off the bedroom space. And here we will have attic storage space. There'll be a doorway into it from up here, as well as this doorway you saw from the garage space where the landing will be. And this will be quite a bit of attic storage space. They'll have room for whatever they want to put up here. They'll have plenty of room for it. These ridge pole supports are just temporary until the rest of this interior wall framing is done to carry the load of that ridge beam down. All right, let's go back down here and look at the basement. And these stairs down here are permanent. These are already framed. They just have to have the finished treads and landing material put on top. And here's another look at that cedar tree that holds the loft level landing up, intermediate landing. And again, I apologize, this is a real mess, but we're right smack in the middle of framing and a lot of other work, so there's just stuff everywhere. Okay, here is the basement space. So let me go out here and we'll go in from outside and take a look at it. So this is a full walkout basement. We've got concrete retaining wall on the west end over here, holding that backfill back, tying into the retaining wall for the deck up there, and a porch concrete patio that wraps the entire way around. We have, again, live edge cedar deck post holding all this up. We have these more big 6x12. These are Doug fir beams holding all this deck framing up here. And that has a galvanized steel hanger that is bolted to the concrete, has the deck beam in it on that end. We have some joinery on top of that post there. These beams continue around the entire perimeter of the deck, holding all this deck framing up. And here are these two huge posts that hold the south-facing deck up. We have I believe this was a 14-inch continuous 23-foot spruce round beam spanning this opening, holding the deck up. That way he didn't want any posts here obstructing this view from these windows on either side of the fireplace. So we got that framed in, and the deck is all hung over top of that. But these posts here are continuous all the way from the concrete up to the underside of that massive 22-foot wide by 15-foot tall log truss that was all hand built out of round spruce, 12-inch round spruce. Our guys did a fantastic job putting that together. That was quite the feat. And there's the fireplace base support. You can see this is all CMU that is solid concrete filled, so it has plenty of bearing capacity to hold that massive heavy fireplace up. We have a 12-inch thick concrete slab cap poured on top of that. You'll get a better look at that from the deck. That's going to be holding all that, the weight of that chimney up and the rest of the fireplace. Well, there is the double French doors leading into the basement from this patio area. See more beams, more live edge cedar posts. Here is the east end of the basement, walkout basement patio area. We have another retaining wall there, concrete cap poured on top of it. There'll be some more concrete work down here. There'll be a set of stairs going up here with a landing that terminates, and they will then turn and go up to the top of the concrete porch up there. But here is the basement garage, and this is actually underneath. If you can see there's the main level 2-car garage we saw earlier up there, and we have this basement garage directly underneath that. And this entire basement is built using Fox blocks, ICFs on the backfill side, and we have 2x6 wood framing on the walkout side over here. But this is all Fox blocks, ICFs. We have poured in place steel frame doors. The homeowner wanted this to be completely impervious to whatever or whoever decided to try to get in here, whether it be inclement weather or whatever it may be. This is very secure. The door slabs are not in place yet, but we have these poured in place steel jambs, door frames that the doors will get hung into. And these have rebar ties on the back side that are attached to the rebar, which the concrete was then poured into. We have a large, this is, I believe, a 12-foot by 8-foot garage door or overhead door opening that'll be installed at some point in the future. And underneath here, these are all 8'6" high ceilings. And we ended up going, we originally were going to go with 9 foot, but we went with 8'6" because that simplified a lot of things with our garage floor thickness and the stem wall height that we had to deal with up top. So this garage floor is sitting on top of light deck ICFs. So these are styrofoam forms, which are attached to these steel C-channel, these galvanized steel C-channels, which are really just there to give you something to attach your ceiling finish material to. These are doing nothing structural for the concrete slab. All of that is contained within the concrete itself. These were just purely to encase the concrete and then give you something to attach your ceiling finish material to. This is, I believe, 2 or 3 inch thick styrofoam on the underside here. We have a 14-inch deep concrete beam every 2 feet. So that means in between each of these steel C-channels, we have a 14-inch deep concrete beam. There's one there, one there, one there, every 2 feet, the entire width of this span. We have a 14-inch deep concrete beam that runs the entire 30-foot length of this garage. And each of those beams has 4 number 7 rebars in it with steel hoops or stirrups, whatever you want to call them. So this floor is very solid. There is absolutely no bounce or give in it whatsoever. We've had no cracking since the original hairline cracks that always occur when concrete sets. But that was a very challenging aspect of this job that I really enjoyed tackling, was figuring this system out, and it worked fantastic. You can see we had a little bit of concrete leakage in a few spots, but it overall was not bad at all. This pour went fantastically. We have another doorway here going into the main living area of the basement, another poured in place steel door. We've got a lot of lumber in the way here, which kind of ruins the view of this basement garage, but we've got plenty of room here. This is 32 feet from this side all the way to that back wall, so plenty of space in here to pull a vehicle in and still have lots of room. We have a storage / safe room back in here, another poured in place steel door, and there's actually another safe room, if you can see it, back inside there. So we have lots of room in here. All this is underneath that main house garage slab that we saw earlier. So let's go back. Let's go this way just so you kind of get a better perspective of things. This will be the kitchen window for the basement. The basement is designed as an entirely separate living space from the rest of the house. So it'll have its own kitchen, its own laundry area, bathrooms, living space, bedrooms, all that stuff. So here are the double French doors going into the basement living space. We have some nice double windows right there. So you'll come in here and we have lots and lots of dimensional beam work in here. These are all solid 8x16 Doug fir timbers and 12x12 solid Doug fir posts holding all this up. This one here is carrying that load all the way down from that giant cedar tree we saw upstairs all the way down to the footing in the concrete. We have a triple lam LVL beam spanning this opening with, I believe these are 14-inch deep or 16-inch deep, I'm sorry, floor trusses that are these are top cord bearing trusses that are hanging on the top of that LVL beam. And they sit on top of that post, which has the continuous load path all the way down to another custom made galvanized and powder coated steel bracket from that same local fabricator. He did a fantastic job on these, and that is bolted to the concrete. We have these posts. We have some cool little drilled and pegged joinery on these beams sitting on top of these posts. This will be the dining area right here in front of these double windows. It'll give you a fantastic view. Once all this backfill is cleaned up and the logs are moved and the trees are trimmed, you'll be able to see right across that valley, which looks right across the highway to the other side of the valley over there. Quite a nice view. So we have more beams here. This will be the start of the kitchen. There'll be cabinets going from this wall. And you can see we built in cabinet blocking. We do that in all of our builds. We put cabinet blocking in the walls. That way there's a solid surface for the cabinet crew to hang their cabinets onto. They don't have to hunt around for studs. That is just something that we feel makes a better house, and why not make the next trade's job easier. Here we'll have the kitchen sink right in front of this window, and there'll be a bar space that will start at this post and kind of make an L shape. It'll come across here, back that way. I believe that's how the original floor plan showed it. I'm not sure how they're going to decide to do that, but that's what the plan showed. And there we have the doorway going into the basement garage. And here we have our massive mechanical room. I am a big fan of having a well-built, spacious mechanical room. Why not? So here is the manifold for that radiant heat tubing in the main garage floor. So we have 3 loops. This is a 3-loop because it was about 900 square feet, so we went with the 3-loop layout in that floor. And then we have some penetrations through the ICFs to allow for ventilation piping, probably an ERV system of some sort, into the basement garage. So even if these doors are shut, if all these doors are shut, there will be an ERV that will be circulating clean air into these basement garage rooms. So there'll never be any stale air worries in there. That'll take care of any moisture condensation issues as well. So that's just temporarily hung there just to pressurize it with air so we could test it while we were pouring the concrete. And there is the manifold. This is a 2-loop system for the concrete porch, the de-icing tubing that's in there. And here we have the penetration where our electrical service is going to come into the basement. We're going to have a main panel down here, a 400 amp main panel, and there will be then sub panels for the other floors of the house as well. And here is our main water service entrance. Comes in right here. This has all just kind of been ran in temporarily just for work purposes. And here is our boiler piping. So we have a boiler system, and that is located in a auxiliary building, an outdoor building. And it is piped all over here to the house, and that is what will be supplying hot water to all these radiant floor heat systems, as well as a liquid to air heat exchanger in the heating and air systems. We have a floor drain here, as is super critical to have in every mechanical room. You must have a way to get your water out, because there'll be washers and dryers in here, as well as the water heater and the HVAC systems, and all those things have the potential to cause a leak at some point, especially the HVAC units. As we all know, they have condensate, and since it's the basement, the condensate has nowhere to go but either into the plumbing, main drain system in the wall, or whatever else they decide to do with that. But we have a floor drain here to allow for whatever they want to do with that. And I'm really a big fan of these floor trusses. They allow all the trades to have plenty of space to run all their mechanicals. And we don't have to worry about drilling through solid sawn lumber or drilling through I-joists, which is always really annoying to have to do. So there's our staircase. We have a storage space underneath here. Lots of storage in this house. I love that. There is lots of room for whatever the homeowner decides to do. And we have borate treated LSL bottom plates on all of these walls in the basement. These are all 2x6 walls, just because a lot of them had to be 2x6 because of load bearing or insulation requirements. So it just made more sense to just make everything out of 2x6. 2x6 framing is not that much more expensive than 2x4, especially when you have a house this large. So it just kind of simplified things. And we still have some of our leftover ICFs stacked here. all of our bottom plates, all borate treated LSL. And they also have a vapor barrier taped on the bottom side that touches the concrete, just to prevent any capillary action of residual moisture in the concrete from wicking its way up into the wall assemblies and causing moisture problems. So here is the bedroom in the basement. There's no windows in here, so we will have a doorway through the closet into the office space to allow egress, which is a requirement. Can't have a bedroom with only one way in and out. That's not safe. So we have our bathroom right here. This is I believe a 2-foot door, because a 3-foot door would have just caused too many issues with the vanity, which is going to be sitting right here. We'll have our toilet right there and a tub shower built in right there. You can see all of our plumbing. There's our vent stack. That's where the tub drain will be located. And here will be the basement office space, 3-foot door. Nice big window, allow lots of natural light in here. And also it'll share that same closet space with the bedroom down here to allow egress from the bedroom out the window if necessary. And that is the south-facing wall directly underneath that fireplace. You can see we transitioned from 14-inch on-center floor truss layout to 16-inch on-center over this part of the room to better span this opening and keep us under our deflection limits for the floor system. All right, that is it down here. Let's go up and take a look at this deck. All of this will be covered in concrete at some point as soon as we're done carrying all the dirt up with heavy equipment. We're running a lot of that around here right now. No need to unnecessarily put the concrete at risk by driving equipment over it. So we're just going to wait until we're done with that before the concrete's done. All right, we have our post bases that we still have to install the rest of these posts on. And we have a drop down in our deck height off the main level of the house to the garage, because the garage approach slab obviously has to be slightly below the level of the garage floor to prevent any water that may build up on the outside from running in. So we have a step right here up onto the main deck level. Again, this is that Advantech X Factor, and we went ahead and liquid flashed all of the joints and all of the other penetrations to make sure this thing is completely waterproof. So here's a door into the garage from the deck. We have this deck, and this deck is, again, 7 feet off the wall of the house to the outside face, 6 foot to the center of all these posts. And the homeowner decided to change the plans a little bit on this part of the deck because he just wanted more room when you walk out that double French door. So we have plenty of outdoor living space here. And if it looks a little crooked, there is again a 1/4 M12 slope away from the house on all decks and porches around this house to allow for plenty of runoff. There's our main French door into the living space of the house from the deck. You can get a better look at that huge log truss that we built to span this opening here and hold this porch overhang out. This will be hanging, this roof will have a 2-foot overhang past the center line of these posts out this way. Those log purlins are a little long. We'll have to trim those off after the framing's in place. Here is that fireplace. The chimney's not completed yet, but we haven't done up to this one. We still have to set scaffolding up and finish that. But that will go continuously all the way till we have 4 feet past the main ridge line of the house. That main ridge pole will be slid out, and it'll have bearing into this outer course of blocking, which will be solid filled to carry the load of that roof line all the way down to the concrete below. And these 2 large windows we have on either side of the fireplace opening here, and the triangle windows up there. We had a lot of destruction of our our temporary plastic with that terrible windstorm we had lately. So this looks pretty awful, but we just kind of are trying to keep everything as dry as we possibly can until these logs can get treated like they need to be. There are the windows off the master bedroom right there. And here we transition from wood deck onto concrete again. And this is all covered up, but we have a door coming out of the master bedroom, walking directly out into this deck here. And here, down below, there will be a set of steps here somewhere that steps down onto another level of concrete porch that'll be poured down here, where there will be a hot tub. And we have boiler piping coming out here from the mechanical room in the basement. And that boiler piping will be supplying hot water to this hot tub. We also have some other penetrations there for water and electrical, whatever else the homeowner might need to put out here. More live edge cedar posts. Lots and lots of natural materials used in this house. We have solid sawn beams whenever we're able to use them, and we have live edge posts everywhere else the customer decided he wanted them. So this is kind of a long video, but this is a massive project, including the porches. We have just under 10,000 square feet of space on this house. We have about 5,600 square feet of actual living space, but if you count the garages and the porches, it is just under 10,000 square feet. So this is a massive project, but it's been going slow with our small crew, but we pride ourselves in giving attention to detail, doing everything to the best of our ability, using the best construction practices that are available to us today, the best materials we can get our hands on. Here we have gas line that'll be coming up, going into the mechanical room down there. There is our electric service that'll be coming up to the meter box mounted on the wall there, and then going back down to the basement below. Here is an access to our French drain system, a clean out we decided to install. We surrounded the entire backfill side of this ICF with a large 6-inch, I believe it was 6-inch, maybe it was 4-inch. Anyway, a French drain system from French Drain Man. We have geotextile fabric wrapping the drain line to prevent any silt buildup, and then it is drained out both directions. It goes through those, let me just show you where they are down here. Comes through the retaining wall right down there, and then runs out, drains to daylight just behind where that skid steer is setting over there. And then another one that comes to the retaining wall on the other side. So we have plenty of drainage, and then we just decided to put that clean out in just in case. Why not? It wasn't that much work, and good insurance for just in case the system ever needed cleaned out. All right, that is all I can think of right now. I believe I've gone over most of the details in here, but this is quite the project. We're very proud of it. It's taken a lot of work. A lot of things have been learned on this, but we're definitely coming away from it a much more capable building crew. And I don't think there's anything we're afraid to tackle after this. There's a lot of experience in this house right here. But we love it. The homeowners are loving it, and we cannot wait to get it done. All right, that is it.